Welcome back, everybody. This coin is coming at you with another one. Today it is November 22nd, Saturday, 2025. Today we'll be looking at AMC, and then I'll also be touching a little bit base on plug powers just to see what's happening, across the board with all this dilution and all this. So we'll go ahead and talk about that. So this will be the weekly update for AMC. So I'll just be kind of going over AMC, just kind of going over my thoughts, what I think we could be seeing moving forward. As you know, this dilution, or the meeting for AMC, is in a couple of weeks, December 10th. So we're getting pretty close to that date. So without further ado, none of this is financial advice. Do your due diligence. You got to do what's best for you. If you haven't subscribed, go ahead and consider subscribing. Thank you all for tuning in, and let's get to it. So AMC closed off with the 7th consecutive red week in a row, closing off at $2.20. You can see it was a nice, not too bad of a close, as it started to rise on Friday, and we ended off with a very nice hammer candle. So I will definitely take that. So I'm just gonna go back to the last time there was 8 red weeks in a row. Right now we have 7. So if we go back to the 2020, before the big squeeze that happened right here on Tuesday 8th September 2020, we started off right here, 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 red weeks in a row. And a couple months after that, we had a macro W, and this is when the big squeeze had taken place, as you could see here. So now the question is, are we gonna potentially be seeing another red week this coming week, or is it going to be green from here, as we have 7 consecutive red weeks? Well, if we look at the 15-minute time frame, that we can zoom in a little bit here, it's starting to look good. This was I'm going to go ahead and turn on the weekdays, that way you can see the days here. You could see on Wednesday, this is when I did my predictions as what I thought was going to happen. I thought, it would bring a lower leg, clearing this out, grabbing the last liquidity before running up. We had something similar to that. It kind of overextended, and now we're starting to see some positive towards AMC. On the technical side of things, AMC is now finally broke above. Price action finally broke above this 50 moving average and also this 100 moving average. So if we could stay above this area and just continue to push forward, if we could then get this EMA cross on the 15-minute time frame, we could start potentially seeing a shift of movement to the upside for AMC. As you can see here, since October, beginning of October, from here we've been basically trading under this moving average. You could see it would pop above a little bit, but for the most part, it's been bearish. It's been under this 50 moving average, as you could just see right here, just continuing to struggle. So what we need to see is AMC just continue to stay up where it's at, or continue to push upward, and we could be starting to see some positive things for AMC. Now I'm gonna just go real quick and touch base on plug powers. So let's go ahead and go plug powers. So I just want to talk a little bit, just my thoughts on this whole dilution, this possible dilution. So you can see right here, Plug Powers also closed 7 consecutive red weeks as well. You could see here in September, it had a nice, beautiful run. It was a 2x gain from here, only for it to just correct. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up Plug Powers on what they released yesterday, November 22nd. So I'm going to be posting it up right here on the screen. You guys could see Plug Powers has called a special stockholder meeting for January 15, 2026 to get approval to double its authorized shares of common stock from 1.5 billion to 3 billion. So you could see there's something similar to, these low cap stocks about, this doubling of shares, across the board. As it's, the same kind of thing that's happening with AMC. So now what my question is, is this a catalyst to shake people out before we squeeze? Or are we going to actually, or is there actually going to be a doubling of shares? That's my question, because it's a bit contradictory, because from the technical analysis standpoint, this looks very good for AMC and Plug Powers. But from a fundamental standpoint, it's very, negative or bearish, that these stocks have been underperforming and, possible dilution, a lot of uncertainty in the markets. So, yeah, so this is interesting, because technical analysis looks good, but all this possible dilution, fundamentals does not look so good. So let me know in the comments down below, have you voted for AMC for dilution, for the doubling of shares? Put your comments down below if you have voted yes, so that you do want the doubling of shares, or if you've voted no for AMC's. Put it down below. So yeah, I just wanted to mention that, it's just very interesting time. Could this all be a catalyst to shake people out? That way they could miss the bus before it shooting upward? Or are we actually gonna be getting dilution and continue to move downward? Well, me personally, I think it's just a fake out to shake shareholders out. That way, they sell their positions. Once there's enough sellers, then we get a nice pop up to the upside. But again, all this is speculation. None of this is financial advice. Just giving you my thoughts on AMC and Plug Powers. I do hold a little bit of Plug, not a whole lot, but I just thought that was interesting that they announced that on Friday. So yes, that meeting on January 15th, be interesting to tune into that one. So with all that being said, you got to do what's best for you. Personally, I'm holding. That's just me. But again, you got to do what's best. So again, take care.